Hey everybody, it's Greg, Detroit's Love Guru, coming to you live. It's the Art of Relationship show, and we're going to be talking about what are you doing to keep your lover or your partner, husband, wife, that type of thing. What are you doing? We're going to talk about that, plus have a little bit of fun on the Art of Relationship show. So stay tuned, people. Be right back. Hey everybody, welcome back, and hopefully everybody's doing okay. And a little bit of caution to everybody out there, especially in the Midwest. In Metro Detroit, it was like 20 below with the wind chill factor out there. So please, ladies, give your man a little bit of leeway for the shrinkage today with it being so cold. So anyways, we're going to be talking about what are you doing to keep your partner happy in a relationship, okay? And I know, okay, it's not your job fully to keep your partner happy. Let's just face it, okay? And you can look back to single people out there that have been through a breakup, a heartache, heartbreak, whatever. You can look back, man, what wasn't I doing? What could I do better to be a better partner and to keep my partner happy? And again, this is not about selling yourself out, okay? We never, ever, ever want you to sell yourself out, meaning, you know, one wants sex 3, 4, 5 times a week. The other one wants it once every 3 to 4 months, okay? It's hard to compromise when the gap is that big, or I always use this scenario out there that, you know, one wants a child, the other one doesn't want a child, and it's going to take, I don't want you to sell yourself out in those elements, and because you're going to be miserable. So hold yourself intact, you know, what the true essence of you is, but outside of that, you know what, nothing is perfect. So I want you to be able to look at and to be able to, you know, center on, you know, what are you doing to help you be a better partner in your relationship? What are you doing to keep your partner happy in a relationship? And this goes on all aspects: mind, body, heart, and soul, people. And I talk about this a lot, and I refer to it the total connection, even though it's not about being perfect, as I said. What are you doing on the mind, body, heart, and soul of the relationship to keep your partner happy? Are you easy to talk to? Can you talk about anything? Are you easily to get defensive? Okay, if your partner comes up, you know what, I don't feel loved by you, do you automatically get hurt and go to anger and say, oh my God, I feel the same way, and you yell back, you go tit for tat? I want you to be able to stop that battle and look at, you know what, can you be, you know, handle the truth or the perspective of your partner's truth easier? Is it easy for you to talk about anything? Okay, can you sort of take the verbal hit, if you will? I'm not talking abusive hit. I'm not talking about being, you know, disrespected. Not at all. I want you to be able to look at, you know what, are you hitting on those levels that you can, you know, you can ebb and flow and talk about anything. If there's problems, are you one that just shuts down and doesn't want to deal with any issues? So it's like a rinse and repeat aspect, okay? Or a dog chasing its tail. I use that analogy a lot, to where, you know what, I'm going to be able to throw that out there, and you know what, I want to be able to stand my ground and be able to work on problems and learn about what my partner is thinking, what they're feeling, how life affects them. Or, you know what, maybe it was all about you in past relationships, or maybe current relationship. You know what, I'm going through a lot, for an example, right? I'm going through a lot. I'm going through this. I'm going through that. I'm going through that. And I'm thinking, I'm looking, well, is your partner going through a lot as well? Or, oh, it's just different. And you try to automatically shut down how your partner feels and what they're going through. So this all part goes on the emotional aspect, okay? The heart aspect about being a better partner, and what are you doing to, you know, keep your partner happy and not wanting to leave in a relationship, okay? And I'm not talking about, let's be real, that, you know what, oh, they're never going to leave me, because I'm going to chain them up in the basement. I'm going to lock them in a cage or duct tape them so they can't leave anywhere. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking any legal stuff, right? I usually throw up stuff that, you know what, people, why would you want to be with someone that doesn't want to be with you? However, I want you to look at why they don't want to be with you. And this is what the subject of this show, this episode today, is talking about what are you doing to make your partner happy in the relationship as far as, if possible, you know, to meet their needs, okay? And I talked about about the heart aspect. You know, does your partner like compliments? Do they like affirmations? And maybe you're assuming, you know what, you love compliments, affirmation. Oh, baby, your booty looks great in those pants, right? And you're assuming your partner wants the same thing. They might not care about that, and you're yelling and screaming. What do you mean you don't feel love? I compliment you all the time. I give you affirmations, and their thing is, I don't care about that. You know what? I appreciate it. I'm not going to go all the way to the left and say you shouldn't appreciate those things, but you got to center on what works best for your partner, okay? Talk about it. Be open. Don't assume, right? Let's face it, I'm guilty. I think we're all guilty of this, where we assume because I like this, my partner needs to like this, and they're going to be happy because I'm happy being this way or treated a certain way. Doesn't work that way, people. So look on those aspects about, you know, are you able to be there for each other, okay? Make it safe enough to be able to talk about anything. Listen, learn. I talk about questions of care and concern to go after it, okay? What are you doing? Let's get right into this aspect, okay? When I talk about the mind, the heart, let's get into the body about the sexual aspects, okay? And I get a lot of complaints about people, let's face it, about desire discrepancies. One person's horny all the time, the other one is not. And I look at, you know what, is it a relationship issue or is it an individual issue? Meaning, is it medical aspect? Maybe there is desire aspects going on, and I always want to check, of course, the emotional connection in the relationship. Or maybe one person is just bored sexually. They're not turned on by their partner physically, I hate to say it, emotionally, mentally, intellectually. Maybe they're not turned on that way. So you're able to look at those elements, or is it a medical condition? So are you able to look at these aspects in your partner? I'm going to, you know, maybe guys, as they age, as we age, excuse me, that, you know, there might be issues about, you know, erectile disappointment, okay? Guys might not be able to get it up right away or have a challenge. So, and then, you know, their lady is very, you know, receptive, very compassionate about that. However, the man is embarrassed. I get it, you know, so they're not getting it checked out. So that's what I mean about being a better partner. And how do you make sure your partner wants to stay and be there with you? Are you able to help yourself out? Do you go to the doctors, guys, to get checked out? You know, testosterone level, is it blood pressure, diabetes, all these aspects, heart issues, okay? We know this. Thyroid affects almost every body function. So being able to look at that, and maybe your girlfriend or wife, whatever, has been sort of complaining, why don't you get it checked out? But you're not. And all of a sudden it's been 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years going on. You've never been checked out, and your partner leaves. Okay, oh my God, I can't, she's not compassionate. Maybe she was compassionate, but you're also not doing your part and showing your partner that you care in what's going on, okay? And there's some people that don't care about penetrative sex, right? There's other ways to have sex. And there's some people that, and I run into this a lot, that they're embarrassed and they might not be able to get a, you know, a hard on, let's face it, right? A woody, an erection. That, so what they do, they're embarrassed and they, all of a sudden they stop touching, they stop kissing, they stop, you know, there's other ways to please sexually, right? There's oral sex, there's, you know, right here, fingers, right? There's toys, you can cuddle, you can caress. And all of a sudden, because of our, you know, the embarrassment, whatever, you stop being a great partner all the way around. The soulful, the connection aspects, right? The heart, your partner doesn't feel desired, and it has nothing to do with, you know, having an erect penis. It has to do with being held and being caressed and being kissed and wanted on that way. And, you know, the physical, the emotional aspects. And that's what I'm talking about, going after it. And what's it take for you to to make sure your partner doesn't want to leave? Is it our own insecurities, our own fears that we're afraid, or embarrassment? Let's face it, that we're afraid to go out and get help to be a better partner, and seeking help with me, a counselor, or someone else other than me. That's fine, as long as somebody's good and wants, is there to help you in the way you need. Okay, I'm all about that. And I get calls all the time. It could be from one partner or the other. Oh, what is totally against counseling, that type of thing, because they're embarrassed. And it could be a woman, a man, it doesn't matter. I don't need counselor. My ego's in check, and screw this. I know everything, right? And they don't have the courage to go get help. And if your partner thinks there's a problem, why are you not putting your ego aside and to go after to get help? This is another aspect when I talk about the mind aspect of the mind, body, heart, and soul aspect, okay? So what are you doing to make the relationship better and make your partner happy? And again, that doesn't mean you're miserable as long as your partner's happy. Oh, no. And I'm looking at also, there's a lot of issues that have been in a relationship, right? And they might be, doing everything great, perfect, right? Showing the love, the sexual desire, the kind of sex their partner wants, and their partner still is not doing that back to them. So I sort of flipped the script and asked, why would you want to be with somebody that isn't showing you what you need or doesn't have that capability? Again, that doesn't mean you have to do anything about it. It's not my life, it's yours. But to be able to put that out there and to be able to look at those situations to where, what am I going to do? What am I going to do to put that out there? And to look at those situations to where I want to be a better partner. I want to be a better lover, a better, emotional support system. So what are you doing to put your ego in check, people, and to be a better partner so your partner does not want to leave, okay? Maybe you used to love oral sex and now you don't love oral sex anymore. I want to know, what's happening. What flipped the script? Is it because you feel like there's a lot of resentment, a lot of ego trips being pumped up a lot, okay? That means that your ego's at stake and you sort of stop doing what you used to do. You don't feel loved. You don't feel appreciated. You don't feel desired in the way you want to feel desired. And all of a sudden you stop being sexual. I'm not doing oral sex. Yeah, I used to love doing it. I'm not doing it anymore now because he or she did this, that, and this. We need to look at these avenues and to be able to explore these options and to be able to look at, what the heck is going on so I can go ahead and look at those aspects. Have, a follower just mentioned, you just read my mind. I think I must show this to my bestie because I know she will love it. Please, make more videos, and I appreciate that. And, you can always catch the show live on Wednesdays, 12 noon Eastern time, USA time, and the videos are always available on YouTube, Facebook as well at your leisure. So I definitely appreciate that. But yeah, we can assume one thing, our partner wants to be loved a certain way or desired a certain way, and they just don't. You need to learn, okay, what can I do to be a better partner? What can I do to be a better, listener, emotional support? What can I do to be a lot more of a, sexual partner and have sex the way we both want, right? And again, it's not talking about extremes to those situations. One wants to be in the BDSM and the other one is totally against that, not into it. You have to look at how important is that action or that sexual relationship, that sexual lifestyle you want to live. How important is that to you? And if it's extreme important to you, you know what? It is going to be a situation where you are going to be miserable, okay? So you need to do an assessment. Okay, number one, my partner needs this from me sexually, emotionally, mentally, intellectually, if you want to call it the mental aspects of it. Number one, am I able to do it? Number two, am I capable about doing it? And number three, does it sell myself out? Does it throw out my own values, my own self-worth, and to be able to look at those situations to where, yeah, I can do all this. But also, we need to hold our partner accountable. Are they willing to do the same? Are they willing to be a better partner for me without selling themselves out. So look at these areas, okay, about, what it takes with the mental aspect, about, the sexual aspect, definitely, and the heart and soul aspects. You know what are you doing to show each other? Do I have each other's back, right? Am I shutting my partner down when they had a bad day at work? They come home and, oh my God, here we go again. They're bitching, they're complaining about work. Or are you able to, man, that sucks, you had a bad day, man. What happened? What's going on? Do you need anything? Big difference, right? And again, it's not just one-sided. It's about looking at what are you doing to be more supportive emotionally, mentally. You have stress. You're all stressed out. You're not feeling well. Let me get the kids out of the house. Well, I know it's COVID, right? So that's more difficult. Maybe I can keep the kids busy. Maybe I can read to them while you take a nap, or watch a movie with the kids, or play a game with the kids. Something that can keep them quiet. And are we able to go after that and to be a better partner, right? So look at these aspects, right? Look at how many people are able to talk about even sex, right? Or you get so uneasy, uncomfortable, and you just shut that down. And then you look at that situation where, man, we can't even talk about this. So how is our sex life going to be able to grow? How is it going to be able to, progress? How's it going to be better for both of us if we don't talk about it, right? Anything. If we can't talk about anything in the relationship, how are we going to make it better? How are we going to progress on that level? So we need to put our egos away. We need to be able to, sort of take that verbal hit, if you will, about, can we hear the truth from our partner? Man, our sex life is boring. I keep saying, I want to be caressed. I want sensual. And I give, examples of what sensuality is, but my partner just doesn't do it. Like they don't care or whatever. Then you have decisions to make, right? And look at how important is a relationship aspect to you. And again, it's different. It's not according to your relatives. It's not according to your friends. It's not according to even me, okay? It's what's important to you with the mind, body, heart, and soul, the total connection I talk about, and being a better partner, okay? And making sure, hey, what can I do better that makes you not want to leave, okay? And again, I'm going to throw that doesn't mean being locked up, chained up in the basement somewhere against their will. I'm not about that at all, okay? So I want you to be able to go after it, to hit on, ask your partner, what can I do to be a better partner? What are things I can stop doing to be a better partner? And again, it comes down to a situation where one person could love oral sex and wants oral sex and craves it, and the other one hates oral sex, receiving or giving. And now you have a decision to make. And let's face it, a lot of people say, well, you'd be a better partner if you didn't like oral sex, or you'd be a better partner if you loved oral sex. And it gets into a tit for tat, a battle game. Or is it just a difference of opinion and a difference of lifestyle? And you know what? It's not a right or wrong, and it turns into a battle, right? Well, you don't really love me, or people, sex isn't that important to me, or being compassionate is not that big of a deal. Why do you need it? It's because what you need. It's what the essence of who you are, not a right or wrong, and it shouldn't be judged by anybody else except for yourself as far as what is important to you, okay? So look at these aspects, talk about them, and also if it's uneasy, if it's awkward, discussing, asking about these aspects to be a better partner. And hopefully your partner will reciprocate and ask you, man, how can I be a better partner? This is an exercise I even talk about with my couples and my clients in my office here. And, what can you do? What do you think you can do to be a better partner? What are things you can stop doing? You know what? Every time you you disagree, you yell and scream and call each other names. Maybe that needs to stop, right? So I would assume that. And are you able to look at that instead of maybe shutting down or getting angry, two different extremes, but it might say the same thing to your partner? Are you able to listen and listen with your heart and listen with your, openness and your compassion out of care and concern and say, man, you know what? What's going on? What can I do? And again, if your partner wants, you to be a better partner and it doesn't coincide with your own values, with your own morals, it's going to be very, very difficult. Yes, I am blunt. Then you have to look at, is it that important, that big of a deal, that it could dissolve the relationship or marriage? Again, it's not up to me. It's up to you out there, okay? So everybody check out theartofrelationships.org, people, my website. You can follow me on YouTube, of course, The Art of Relationships Guru. Check me out on Facebook, Detroit's Love Guru, all over the place. Twitter, social media, it's all over the place. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I appreciate all the support. Peace and love to everybody out there. You can catch the show live every Wednesday at 12 noon Eastern Time. And real quick, you can also check out, the show, the audio versions of the show. They're all over the place on iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Music, all over the place. Amazon now, all over the place. So I want to help as many people as I can to have the relationship you crave, and that also means the relationship with yourself, about self-love and self-respect, people, okay? I appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm going to say goodbye real quick.